Hey y'all, Psych Perspectives, giofvcks here. And in this video, some of you are going to like, some of you are going to disagree, some of you aren't going to care, and it is what it is. But in this video, I'm going to title it, Your Preferences is Probably Why You're Being Played. Because somebody had made a status, or a tweet, I should say, on Twitter, and it basically was saying how, why do women have so many issues with men who are bisexual, pansexual, or, they're just open with their sexuality. They're very fluid. They have so many issues dating them, and they don't want to date them. And I don't date bi guys, and I don't date men who are pansexual, or I don't date trans men, or I don't date trans women, and all of this. But then they don't have the same energy for the so-called cisgendered heterosexual men that are constantly cheating and playing their asses left and right. And this was a tweet, and I responded to the tweet in a retweet, and I wrote biphobia. As far as I'm concerned, biphobia, transphobia, homophobia is pretty much the main reasons why people date who they date, like who they like, and do what they do. And it keeps people away from having genuine connections and actually dating people that actually want them, in my personal opinion. Now, I'm just going to be honest. Rejection, I've said this so many times in different videos. Rejection is a part of life, honey. You are not going to be everybody's cup of tea. And quite frankly, you're not supposed to, because in the same breath that you're not everybody's cup of tea, everybody isn't going to be your cup of tea either, okay? And by all means, keep your preferences. Those are your preferences. That's what you supposedly like. Then that's what you supposedly like. However, more than likely, your preferences are rooted in ignorance and bigotry. I can pretty much guarantee that, just like my own preferences are rooted in ignorance and bigotry. And I'm constantly having to check myself, because a lot of times I'll sit up and have a preference and I'll be like, well, why do I have that preference? Why do I like that particular person or that particular trait? And then when you start looking into stuff, you start realizing, honey, your preferences is why you getting played. Because a lot of times when you listen to cis women, trans women, feminine people, they will list all of these attributes that they would like in an ideal partner. But then when they start listing their preferences, you're just kind of like, well, that's why you're not meeting that. Again, you're going to, and I'm going to go on and call it for what it is. This may offend people. And I'm, go ahead and dislike, unsubscribe. I get it. But I'm going to say it. Y'all be sitting up here expecting men who are emotionally unavailable, okay? And this typically tends to be cis men, but in particular, cishet men, emotionally unavailable, don't know how to communicate, don't know how to regulate their own emotions and feelings, can't express how they feel. And then you keep saying that you want somebody that's emotionally available. But you keep talking to people that's emotionally unavailable. So that's what I mean by, a lot of times your own preferences is why you can't find nobody. Okay? Because you're not even talking to people that want to talk to you. That's just it. That might be your preference, but you are not their preference. And that is a hard pill to swallow. That's why I said rejection is a natural thing and it's going to happen. And a lot of us, unfortunately, deal with more rejections than we do with successes. But I sit back and I had to ponder that, because a lot of women don't want to date men if they're bi, but then in the same breath, you probably have already dated men who are bisexual, pansexual, gay, homosexual, gender, their sexuality is very fluid. They just didn't tell you because they knew that you were going to be biphobic, homophobic. And that's why a lot of people are on the DL, the down low, discreet, and not up they're not upfront and honest with their sexuality because they know there's people like you that won't even talk to them the minute they say that they're bi. Now, granted, people should be upfront about their sexuality, about their gender identity, in my personal opinion. However, I see why people keep it to themselves because they have to deal with a society that is extremely homophobic, biphobic, and transphobic. So I get it. But what I don't understand is there's this assumption that because somebody's bisexual, that they're going to be cheaters. Meanwhile, every time I get on social media, for the most part, and I'm talking to friends and families, and if they are women, they're always complaining about how they're being cheated on by supposedly cis-het men. So you're being cheated on by heterosexual men, yet your entire premise on not dating a man that's bi is based in your stereotype that they're going to be cheaters. Okay. But yet all the men that's cheating on your ass are all heterosexual. So clearly there's some cognitive dissonance here. Like you saying that you don't want to deal with men that are cheating, and that's your whole reasoning for not dating a bi person, but you're dating all these heterosexual men that don't do shit but cheat on your ass. So again, I'm going to keep saying this. A lot of times, your preferences is why you're being played. Okay? Check yourself some damn times. Okay? Because y'all get on here just spewing misinformation and ignorance and then complaining, oh, there's nobody good out here. Yet the people that would be decent for you, you don't want to talk to because of your preferences. And like I said, by all means, have your preferences. Keep them. But don't sit up here and complain about how there ain't nobody good out here when in reality, you keep going back to the same pig trough. Okay, you like rolling around with pigs, so you keep dating the same types of niggas, same types of bitches, same types of people. So if you like to be at the pig trough, eating sloth and rolling around in your own feces and dirt and mud, then you keep doing that. Keep your shitty ass preferences, okay? Because it just cracks me up, okay? Again, a lot of times you made your bed, so lay in it. Because I get so sick and tired of cis women, trans women, feminine people in general complaining about shit, but then in the same breath, you keep going to the same ain't shit people. So it's like, whose fault is this really? And that's why I'm going to say it again. A lot of times, our preferences is why we keep getting played, getting hurt, getting used, being abused. Okay? I had to recognize for myself that my own preferences is why I kept running into narcissistic, emotionally unavailable people. Okay? That people-pleasing shit, I had to work on that because that's just it. I don't want a project. I want a partner. I want partners because I'm non-monogamous. I'm polyamorous. So I'm not looking for a monogamous committed relationship. So I need to be upfront about that, and I need to figure out, okay, if that's what I know, that's who I am, I need to look at, hey, some of these preferences that I had previously is why I ran into the types of dudes that I was running into, okay? And that's the same thing for you women. You keep complaining about stuff, but yet you're the one dating the ain't shit person. Okay, and it's because of your preferences. It is what it is. Y'all go for the same types over and over again and then get on social media and want to talk about how there ain't nobody good out here when the good people you didn't want because they didn't meet your preferences. Okay? Because so many of us have passed up quality folks, but because they're trans, because they're bi, because they're not 6 feet, it be the most superficial shit that we use to disqualify quality candidates. I'm just going to call it for what it is. And like I said, I'm going to keep saying, continue to have your preferences. But after a while, doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting change is literally the definition of insanity. And a lot of us are insane. You've had the same preferences for the past 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Some of y'all still got the same preferences that you had in middle school and high school. And you 30, 40 something years old. And you wondering why you can't meet nobody. Okay? Again, you're insane. You're doing the same thing over and over again, expecting change. And you keep running into the same pigs at the pig trough. That's all I'm going to say. And you should get tired of that. Okay? And quite frankly, that's why I'm part of this self-care journey for me on a personal level is taking accountability. And I feel like that is a huge issue with humans. People, regardless of gender and sexuality, people don't want to take accountability for their own toxicity and for their own mistakes. Everybody wants to complain and point the finger and all of this shit, when in reality, you are dating the same pigs at the same pig trough. And you enjoy that shit. You like that toxic mess. Okay? If you're so concerned, and I've been saying this for a while too, if you're so concerned about cheating, then maybe you need to start asking people, are you monogamous? Because a lot of these people are not monogamous, but because we live in a cis-het normative society where everybody has to be cisgendered, everyone has to be heterosexual, and the only relationship model that is shown to us is monogamy, instead of embracing the fact that there's different types of relationships, different sexualities, different genders, people are forced to live lies. Okay, forced to live lies and facade. A lot of people are in the closet about a lot of things, not just their sexuality, not just their gender. It's a lot of shit that people keep in the closet or under the rug because mainstream society is oppressive and would look down upon it. So they keep it to themselves. People be living double and quadruple lives, okay? I see this every day. Dylan out here living my truths. I see it. And I'm not saying this to say that you have to date somebody that's bisexual or somebody that's pansexual or somebody that's non-monogamous and polyamorous. I'm not saying that you have to date somebody that's of trans experience. But what I am saying is obviously your preferences don't want you. Ain't it odd? Like, you only want cis-het men that are emotionally available, yet you keep running into men that are not emotionally available, that stay cheating on your ass, stay lying, stay doing you dirty. Isn't it time to reconsider your preferences? I mean, if it keeps happening, I would be like, this isn't really working for me. I'm not meeting anybody that's quality. I need to make some changes. That's all I would recommend, suggest, okay? That's some advice from Gio, okay? Anyways, information will be in the description box below. Again, continue to have your preferences. It's your right, it's your body, it's your choice. I'm not saying that you can't. However, recognize that some of your preferences is more than likely rooted in ignorance and bigotry. And sometimes it's okay to change and make changes. Again, why would I want to have the same preferences that I had at 15 at 29 damn near? Okay, that's all I'm saying. I'm out.